Hello and welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant information of the day. With only 6 days to go until the start of the Atlantic hurricane season, we take a look at what is currently happening according to the experts.
According to information from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, meteorologists predict a 60% probability for an above normal season, a 30% probability for a normal season, and a 10% probability for a below normal season. A normal season has about 14 hurricanes, of which 3 are usually of strong intensity, but for this year there are expected to be approximately 16 hurricanes, of which up to 6 could be aggressive. To date, one depression has already developed, Tropical Storm Anna, which formed in Bermuda on Sunday after bringing rain and wind to the islands in the Atlantic Ocean, forecast said. The Miami-based U.S. National Hurricane Center said in the 11 a.m. report that Anna was 690 kilometers northeast of Bermuda, with maximum sustained winds of 65 kilometers per hour. The storm was moving northeast at 22 kilometers per hour. However, according to official sources, it will not have a direct impact in our department.
And despite the difficulties that the COVID-19 pandemic has brought to education in the country, the department reports low levels of school dropouts.
School dropouts are another of the collateral effects brought by the pandemic of COVID-19. In some regions of the country, the implementation of strategies such as virtual classes. However, students have seen a huge obstacle to access virtual classes. Facing the challenge, the Archipelago Department reports 0 cases of dropouts in the institutions of the island. On the other hand, there is an increase in the number of enrollments in schools, according to the data from Secretary of Education.
We are not officially presenting any dropouts. We have students that we have called possible dropouts, and each institution has its protocol to deal with the situation. We don't have any official figures. Even this year, we have an increase in enrollment. We are talking that at this moment, we have 8,875 students enrolled according to the CMAD platform. If we do a comparison with previous year, we have more students in the educational system.
The Secretary of Health reports that with the increase of COVID-19 cases in the archipelago, positive cases have also been detected in some teachers and students of educational institutions, a situation that has led to the reinforcement of biosecurity protocols.
As for the number of infected students, we don't have a figure. We do not manage that information. However, we do know that it has occurred even in private and public institutions. We have infected students and teachers. The number has not been excessive, but we do know that there are some students and teachers who have been infected.
Currently, in the department, phase 3 of the national vaccination plans against COVID-19 began, where educators are prioritized. With this, it is expected that all teachers on the island can be vaccinated and thus provide new strategies for the safe return to school.
And young people of the island will have the opportunity to access a new call for scholarships for the second semester of 2021. The Secretary of Education, Lucila Morelos, explained what it is about.
We are in conversation with ISETEX to open a new call for application in this second semester. The idea is that it will benefit our young people who are going to attend undergraduate courses.
In the same line, the Secretary informed that prior to the call for applications, the applicants will be given an induction on the requirements and items to be taken into account to be beneficiaries.
We will have a few days to socialize with the young people to be able to give them exact dates on when they can apply and when the call for application will end, and to know who the beneficiaries will be.
According to the head of the Education Office, very soon they will be informing through the official channels of the government the dates of the call so that those interested can apply.
And changes continue in the Coral Palace. This time, it was announced that there will be replacement of secretary in the government portfolio. It was made known to the public that next Friday, May 28, will be the swearing-in of lawyer Juan Carlos Pumier as the new Secretary of Government, a fact that was confirmed by the appointed lawyer himself to the journalistic team of Teleislas News. Pumier is a specialist in civil procedural law and public management and will enter to replace Abel Archbold, who is currently exercising this position. Archbold will then take functions as Secretary of Infrastructure. This news agency will be attentive to the development of this news and the changes that are generated to the interior of the Coral Palace. And in response to reports made by Teleislas News about roads and grids in poor condition, as a result, the Secretary of Infrastructure, Abel Archbold, stated that his office is already on top of the situation.
We have found 5 or 6 points of sewage drainages without grates, the metal grates. We have already discussed the issue with the engineers. We are already getting the resources and making the adjustments to start the bidding process. We have already identified them.
The Secretary spoke of some sectors in which there have been grates in poor condition, among them Morris Landing, Linval Road, Morgan's Cave, Ginny Bay pedestrian walkway, in front of the Villarreal Clinic, among other points that lack grates and represent a risk to the community. Regarding the St. Louis Road, where months ago there was a road accident, the head of the infrastructure office said that the work is a responsibility of Invias and that the respective notification has already been made.
We have good news, and I believe that the Governor Everett Harkins has already said it. We have the resources to start the paving of the Four Corner Road in its entirety, also the Dopigoli Road, and we are already going to start with the bidding process.
He also announced that work is already underway to obtain the resources for the bidding process for the roads in precarious condition. According to the Secretary, they are also looking forward to paving the Orange Hill Road that has been in bad condition for years.
And through social networks, a video was revealed showing dead fish and shrimps in various sections of the Bowden Creek, a situation that worries some sectors of the community since it is the first time this phenomenon has been seen.
Yesterday, during a visit to the Bowden Basin, some farmers reported on social media the conditions of some of the bodies of water that usually survive the dry season. These waters serve as habitat for some species. However, they are drying up, and with this, the fish and shrimp that inhabit them are dying.
Yesterday, we were surprised to see how larger fish between 15 and 20 centimeters are in these waters. Personally, I had never seen them until yesterday because it was more evident. We really saw how this type of species are being affected by the hurricane, by the lack of vegetation, by the ongoing drought in the islands.
The community is asking for a way to protect these species.
We believe as a community that we should look for mitigation actions that can be developed to prevent this type of species from becoming extinct.
Teleislas News spoke with the coordinator of Carolina's protected areas, who explained that the affectation to the vegetation covered by the hurricane in about 90% is also affecting these bodies of water.
The recommendation is that if they find any species of freshwater biodiversity that can be rescued, it should be placed in a similar system. And please, some freshwater species do not tolerate seawater, so the idea is that they can be rescued in a similar place.
The biologists concluded that thanks to the video, the staff in Providence has been informed and that they will be attentive to rescue the species that are still alive.
And in the midst of the PMU meeting developed in the municipality, we make an assessment of different contents and topics treated as to the reconstruction of the island.
With the presence of the mayor, Jorge Norberto Gari, and the manager of the reconstruction of the archipelago, Susana Correa, yesterday the unified command post was held in the municipality. Among the information was the report of the COVID situation in the municipality with 4 active cases. 2 cases in the police, 1 from Fontour, and 1 in the native community. In the report, the entities and institutions in charge of contractors and personnel in the municipality were asked to attend biosecurity trainings. On the other hand, the municipal secretary of social development asked Findeter once again to prioritize the intervention of housing for the elderly. Also yesterday, the National Navy new floating unit, the RSA Bahia Solano, arrived at Old Providence. It sailed to its first operation in the Caribbean Sea from Cartagena. In this opportunity, it will work to contribute in the reconstruction of the islands of Old Providence and Santa Catalina, transporting construction materials within the framework of the Renacer Plan. Yesterday, the Municipal Council for Risk Management also met in order to begin working on the development of a municipal plan for risk and disaster management and to formulate different strategies in response to the emergencies that may arise due to the early start of the hurricane season. On the other hand, this afternoon, the Municipal Council gave green light to the project for the relocation of families in high-risk areas with 6 votes in favor and 1 abstention. This authorizes the purchase of the property in Freetown for the construction of houses to relocate to families who have already accepted this process.
Hello, here are the best sports of the island. In baseball, understanding and relationship between players are very important for the effective performance of a game. The signs are part of the good relationship that should exist between players and even coaches for a good outcome in a baseball game. An example of this is the relationship between the pitcher and the catcher. An example was the triple play of the New York Yankees starring by the Colombian Giovanni Urshela. We spoke with catcher Clisman Sanchez, who told us about this relationship.
Si no hay conexión entre el pitcher y el catcher,
the relationship between the pitcher and the catcher is always fundamental in every game. In every game, it is essential because if there is no connection between the pitcher and the catcher, there can be difficulties in the game, since many mistakes can be made. As for the pitches, players with runners, during the process of making sure they don't steal a base, then you have to have confidence with the pitcher and the connection first of all with the signs, because sometimes you can cross them. If you give a signal to the pitcher, he throws another pitch. There can be many errors because of that mistake, and that is where games can be defined. Last inning, bases loaded, tied games, and the game can be lost.
We also spoke with the pitcher Dylan James, who stated,
Like a pitcher, I have to understand the signal when my catcher beg me to put the ball there. We have to get coordination to win the game.
Under the assistance of coach Nelson Ospino, began the preparation of the juvenile football selection for upcoming tournaments. This first process began with the scrimmage against the team Los Leones del Barac, led by coach Ovidio Martinez, where the leaders of this selected island youth team are looking for the team to have enough scrimmage before reaching the qualifying game in Bogota, which is held from June 8th, where the selected island team will participate. We talked to Nelson Ospino, who gave us more details.
It is a project that comes from the previous qualifier that we could not travel because of the COVID issue, health issue, and it was a U17. That project we continue to manage for U19. It is a base from 2003 that will participate in that. Then what we are looking for is to give priority to those boys who did not go to the qualifier to keep them busy and have them with a little more interest so they can participate in this qualifier and be seen by people there at the national level. The group standing is already out. We are with Casanare, we are with Meta, Cundinamarca, Risaralda, and there we are at San Andres. We are the 5 teams in that group so far, and 2 of them will qualify for the second round of the qualifier.
The practice matches are an important part of the preparation of this team that will attend the qualifying tournament in Bogota, said Nelson Ospino. And this is all in sports for tonight. We will see you on another broadcast. We continue with Millicent.